It's the Daily Dog.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for hanging out with me today. On the program today, y'all, we're going to be listening to music by Wobbler for the very first time, so we're making it a Wobbler Wednesday, and I'm happy that you are here. Before we start, special thanks to our friend Andrew, who is serving as our guest DJ for today, and he has requested music from this band Wobbler. Now, I don't know much about this band. I was made aware of their music earlier this year via our Patreon, and we were doing a fan favorites video featuring music that we were calling Diamonds in the Rough, largely underappreciated songs and bands, and the song 5 Rooms from this band was submitted and upvoted by our community and included in our fan favorites video, and that's the first time that I had ever heard from this band and heard their music, and I was really taken by it. Really unique sounds, and so when Andrew requested some music from Wobbler, I'm like, all right, let's do it. Let's get it on. So Andrew has asked for some songs from Dwellers of the Deep, which is Wobbler's 5th album, released in October of 2020. So we will be hearing the first 2 songs off of that album today, By the Banks and 5 Rooms. And although I have heard 5 Rooms earlier this year as part of that fan favorites video, I've only heard it the one time. So it's going to be like coming back to a song for a first listen. So about this particular album, the band offers this from their Bandcamp website. They say, this album is an exciting blend of carefully planned and jammed material that encompasses everything the band has done up till now. Dwellers of the Deep consists of 4 distinctive pieces and is a broad looking glass into Wobbler's creative whims and playful exuberance. The album showcases the band's mastery of dynamics and flow, with passages and themes veering from the scenic and serene to the downright rocking. The lyrical themes on the album deal with human emotion and the ongoing struggle between juxtaposed forces within the psyche. An introspective voyage among the realms of memories, feelings, and instincts where the light is brighter and the dark is darker. The concepts of wonder, longing, and desperation permeates the histories told, and the currents from the deep are ever present. So they're plumbing the depths in their lyrics here, and that always is intriguing to me. So let's see here. We've got Christian Carl Holtgren on bass clarinet, and bass recorder. Lars Fredrik Frosli is on keyboards and backing vocals. Martin Nordrum Kneppen is on the drums, percussion, and the recorder. Andreas Vettergreen Stroman Prestmo is on lead vocals, guitar, and percussion. And Geert Marius Bergam Halleland is on lead, guitar, and backing vocals. So I am excited to dive into this. This will be the first 2 tracks. Let's call it side 1 from Wobbler's 2020 album Dwellers of the Deep. And first up is By the Banks. Here we go. Just right into it. That's E minor. Big time tritone hanging right out there before they get back to this. Great keyboards. They went down a step. Listen to that. And if that doesn't sound like yes, I don't know what does. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I was listening to Close to the Edge just last night, and that's got elements of Close to the Edge in it. guitar and organ and working together here. And the sound of that bass reminds me of Chris Squire too, so there's a lot of that 70s prog sound coming through with these guys. Snakes among the reeds immersed. Okay, the stream is a metaphor. The result of his dreaming, of his psyche. He's plumbing the depths, y'all. They switch keys on me. Cool. There's 4, 3, 4, 6, 1 in G minor, pretty sure. In the footsteps of Persephone, I have sought to find a way. It's got a lot of Gentle Giant sounds in there too, doesn't it? Great color in this, y'all. I am loving every part of this. Flat 6 to 1. It's a nice little progression there. Wonderful soundscape. It's back and forth between 1 and 4. There's the 5D. Six, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're still in 6. Lovely. Taking their time with this transition here. Kind of just playing around D minor. There's flat 6, flat 7 to 1. Flat 6, flat 7, 1. Right? Establishing this key area. And you got low flute in there. So more from mythology, they reference Persephone before, the goddess of the underworld, who's also the goddess of spring and vegetation and stuff growing out of the ground, right? And now we've got Philemon and Salome. Grant me clarity to rise and to fall. So I don't know if this is within the dream or just within his quest to find meaning for his life, pulling up these mythological ideas. Cool. You're not afraid to be delicate with the arrangement, right? You're having some real dynamic contrast within the overall sound of the piece and with the textures, right? Down to a single line for a second there. Third, another minor third. Beginning we were in E, then we were in D for a while, then we were in G minor for a while. Now this is transition back to it. Now he's greeted by the depths beneath the river Styx. I wonder if he's going to find anything in his crystal ball. Okay. Straight 4/4 for the first time in a while. The 3-chord in minor, 4. Again with just the piano. Lovely. I just really admire the spaciousness that they've got here in this piece. Okay, change of key, still 1 to 4.
It never stops, even if the final clever curtain drops. Life goes on in every form, facing riddles from whence we're torn. Let me steal another kiss before I reconcile.
Let me steal another kiss before I reconcile with bliss. I think that means dying. Three. 7 to 1. There's a 3, 5 of 5, down by half step. That was interesting. And modulated by a tritone. That was cool. They got to flat 2 and that becomes 5 to flat 5. And now they're in B flat minor, where they were before. There's the 5. Back down by half step to E. Interesting little excursion that was. I love this. I love this. It's like they're in the wrong decade, you know? Currently working folks, and it sounds great, like the classic prog stuff from the 70s. It's not quite as heavy as some other prog stuff that I've heard that's current, more current. Back into E. It's like they've been going around by minor thirds and they finally get back to where they started. Because there is a circle of minor thirds, too. Right? You can get all the way around the circle that way as well. I think E to G to B flat to D flat and then back to E. Did it finish? That can't be it. Interesting. After all, it's a relatively decently long song, y'all. It's 13, almost 14 minutes. A real quick ending. It surprised me. Well, but what a tune, though, y'all. That's quite astounding. That's really awesome. Let me see if I can figure out anything in here. The last text that they included in this, this light is my consciousness, the only light that I caress, luminous from east to west. The well of life flows from my soul. Opened are the doors of gold. I am the snake, the beast of old. I have no idea what that means. I'm as lost with that as I am in a lot of lyrics that John Anderson has written. But overall, it seems like this stream or this river, like by the banks of this stream or this river, is a metaphor that they are setting up for the path of their life as they go on, and they are trying to figure out what meaning their life will hold while we are here. And doing our stuff. Really, really cool. I want to move on to the second one. This one I have heard, but I've only heard it once. So I'm looking forward to hearing it again. I remember it being just eclectic and just full of energy and just really a fun jam. So let's go to 5 Rooms, track 2 from this album by Wobbler. Here we go. That's a 1, up to 4, major 4, Dorian 4, 3, flat 6, 4, 5, 1. Love D minor. flat 6. Remember this. I gotta get my headphones back on that. So cool. Sounds like a Mellotron sound. And just listen to the bass line. That sounds just like Gentle Giant, doesn't it? Waiting in 5 rooms of sorrow, wondering which way to follow. What a unique way to play over that static chord. Just a buoyancy of sound. Holy crap. What a jam this is. It's a little disconnected from the lyrics. The lyrics are not this buoyant and carefree, seemingly carefree. In fact, far from it. Little hitch beat just threw me, but it's so cool. There's really mature riffs between the ensemble going back and forth. Really fun, isn't it? The autumnal pantomime. So it makes you think of summer's end, the time of year when sprites attend the congregation of the dying vine, weaving a shroud of the passing time, the autumnal pantomime. Meanwhile, I've lost all semblance of where they are harmonically. They keep this kind of flipping. Minor thirds, mostly. They're doing these minor third shifts, which are chromatic third motions. sudden it sounds like Pink Floyd. Huh. We are nothing but debris collected by the maelstrom of eternity. That's a heck of a lyric. A maelstrom is a state of confusion or conflict or turmoil, right? It's also, I think, like a powerful whirlwind in water. So it goes back to that river theme from the first song. Six, 4, 5, 1. Going back to the beginning bit. I just love this music. It's amazing, isn't it? And then that one's done. What a fun listen. Really, what a fun listen. I've been bopping around so much my headphones are almost falling off. Woo! You know, I'd like to think that those two songs are connected in their imagery and the metaphor and the lyrics. In the first song, By the Banks, he talks about 5 snakes being among the reeds, immersed by the banks of this river, which is, again, this metaphor going through his life. And at the end of that particular song, they say, I am the snake, the beast of old. So they're like maybe figuring out which one of these they are. And then in 5 rooms, again, 5. And they call out to Persephone in the first song, the Greek goddess of the underworld, also like the goddess of spring and crops coming out, specifically of grain, if I remember right, from my Greek mythology. And then as they get into 5 rooms, they start talking about the end of that cycle. If Persephone starts the cycle, right, in the springtime, and we get things that are planted beneath the earth and they come up out of the ground and they reach their full potential. By the time we get to the fall, in this last tune here, so it makes you think of summer's end, the time of year when sprites attend the congregation of the dying vine, weaving a shroud of the passing time, the autumnal pantomime, right? And pantomime means this dramatic thing that happens, this dramatic putting on or an entertainment or drama sort of thing, right? And then the last bit of text from this just really gets me. The ancient ones dwell within. The ancient ones dwells within, and their law is everything, governs who will be the slave and who will be the king. The water flows, again, water flowing. The water flows from the mountainside and into the eternal sea, washing up the spoils of man, the remnants of both you and me, our broken promises adrift. We are nothing but debris collected by the maelstrom of eternity. What a lyric that is. And I think what that's telling us is that, you know, from time immemorial, things are the way they are. There are things in place that we really can't fix or can't change. We are almost predetermined who will be the slave and who will be the king. And but the water is going to be flowing. It's going to be flowing from here to there. and we're just caught up in that, and it's sort of a fate thing. In the end, we're but a blip on the radar here, and we are nothing but debris and caught up in this eddy of energy and activity and emotion and everything, and it's overwhelming. But from my own perspective here, as I'm trying to think of what they're doing here, the music in that song was so peppy, right? Amid this type of imagery in the lyrics, and I can only think, if all we are in the end is debris, let's party while we're here, y'all. Come on, let's just have a good old time and not take ourselves too seriously. Be the best that we can be within the circumstances that we are put in, and let's have some fun, y'all. Let's do it and try our best as we are able. That's what I'm taking from that. But more than anything, I am taken by the absolute brilliance of their sound. I hear all the time from people, especially people who are fans, big fans of the way music used to be, right? Back in the day, we had real musicians who played their instruments, and they were really interested in deep things and working things out with their music. And these kids nowadays, the music's not very good. Well, in large realm, that might be true in a lot of cases, but with these guys, I think that they're living up to the legacy of the great tunes that came from this past era, and they're saying, we like all that stuff. We want our music to sound like that. We want to take all of these influences and use that as we try to figure out our own style and our own way of presenting these sounds. And I, for one, am a Wobbler fan. So thanks, Andrew, for bringing this to my attention. Thanks to the Daily Doug community over on Discord and Patreon for bringing this band to my attention. Besides, just discovering these older generation bands, bands like Haken, that are working these days. I've really been taken by them, and Wobbler with their sounds. I'm really, really impressed with their sound and with this music. So I'm just pumped to be featuring it here on the channel. So thanks, Andrew, for being the guest DJ for today. Thanks to all of you for hanging out with me today and listening to some music by Wobbler from their 2020 album, Dwellers of the Deep. Thanks for being with me today, and we will see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.